We're in Way Media.
Hello, twisted humans. Do you find yourself wanting to know more about the latest murder, conspiracy, cult, or haunting? Then this is the podcast for you. I'm Alecia. And I'm Sierra, and this is Twisted and Uncorked. Hello, and welcome to your favorite podcast. This is episode 163, and we are on our special topic episodes voted on by you guys. And you all voted on glitches in the Matrix. This topic suggestion comes from our twisted patron, Ken. So thank you so much, Ken, for supporting the show and for the topic suggestion, as tricky as it may be. This is a tough one, so we're not gonna lie about that. But I decided to do 2 shallow dives of people that vanished out of existence, almost like they were deleted or went to another dimension, i.e. a glitch in the Matrix. But before we get into that, Sierra, do you have a fun fact for me?
I do have a fun fact. I went to a park thing, like a state park, but not with Bubba for Cub Scouts a little while ago. I think I told you about this, but
Yes.
I learned this fun fact while I was there, and it was so cool. So in medieval times, their beds were, just like a wood frame, like a wood box, right? Except they had string tied in between, where we would now have like springs or boards. They just used string that you would put like the straw mattress on top of, right? Okay.
Yes.
So the term sleep tight means to tighten those ropes before you go to sleep, because it's good for your back to be sleeping on super tight ropes. Isn't that cool?
Love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much. And it's true. It is good for your back, because that's why me and Kevin had to replace our fucking bed, because the little stringy things and the boards in between were starting to slip and fall around, so our mattress was all fucked up. So,
yeah,
it's a true story, guys.
Sleep
I love
tight.
that. Where did "don't let the
Yeah.
bed bugs bite" come from? Is that literal?
Probably
Is
bed
that
bugs.
literal bed bugs?
Yeah.
That's upsetting. My fun fact brings us back to the topic a little bit, and that it's about the movie The Matrix.
Oh.
Originally, the Wachowskis, the directors of the movie The Matrix, wanted Johnny Depp to play the main role of Neo before Keanu Reeves got the role. It's hard to picture that with anyone else, because he did do such an amazing job, but I thought that was interesting.
That is very interesting.
Other people also I auditioned, like Will Smith, and there was one other big actor. I think Leonardo DiCaprio also auditioned for the role.
Speaking of Keanu Reeves, I keep seeing all these videos on my timeline, probably because, I don't know, I always read and watch about love story books and whatnot, that Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock are long lost soulmates and are supposed to be together. And it just really makes sense to me. And I hope
I agree with that statement,
that they can find each other or something.
So she's single too, isn't she?
I'm pretty sure they both are.
Yeah, and have you seen Sandra Bullock?
Yeah, and
How
they're
the fuck
both
is she single?
amazing people.
And amazing
as far
actors.
As I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. My wish for this podcast episode is that Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves find each other. And to cheers to that relationship, I've got a rosé for us that actually looks quite light. The reason for this is that this particular wine is 60% Grenache, which is typically a white wine, 30% Sinalt, and 10% Syrah. So that 10% is what would give it that pink, that pinky hue. Clearly it's hitting hard over here because I can't fucking speak English. So this week's rosé comes from France, and it is Minity M limited edition wine. It is a fruity rosé combining aromatic intensity and lightness, with notes of red fruit dominating the nose, and the palate is greedy and round with crunchy fruit. A slight sweetness tempers its liveliness. I don't know what crunchy fruit is. I'm assuming like apples, pears, anything that makes a really big crunch when you bite into it. But I do not love it as a descriptor. And I hope that it is a whatchamacallit, translation issue at this point.
The wording on that one was flowery. I'll tell you what.
Sierra likes
There's a
to
lot of
weigh
big
in
ol'
on the
words.
writers, not so much the wine these days. But
well, I am drinking my Southern Red today
cheers
because
to that.
I haven't had dinner yet, and I was gonna drink it with dinner, and I was like, you know what, whatever.
Fuck it, I'm gonna drink it with recording. This one's a heavier white. It's 13%, or not white, a heavier rosé, and it's 13% ABV as well. But it does contain sulfates. So I just want to be upfront about that because some people are super allergic to sulfates, and this might not be a good varietal for you to try if that is the case. But when I saw it, I was like, this says rosé. This is a mistake. It literally looks like a white wine.
It does.
It's actually not bad. It's super light. Like, honestly, it doesn't feel like I'm drinking wine at all, which is maybe the problem with my English at this point, because I had a glass when I got home, and then I topped my glass when me and Sierra were just chit-chatting. So here we are. I'm gonna rate it an 8 out of 10. I don't normally love rosés, but this has been pretty easy sipping. It says that it's a limited edition by Henriette Arslan. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Is that a celebrity?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna Google it.
While you do that, I feel like, I don't mean for you to take offense to this, but your rating system
it's fucked.
is really fucking weird.
I know.
Because
you're not the first person to say it.
You just said 8 out of 10 for something that you really like. And the last wine you rated was also an 8 out of 10 because you didn't like it that much.
Okay, I'm gonna adjust my rating. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
I think you're too polite to the ones you don't like. That's the issue.
I definitely am.
Stop being so nice.
When you used to drink them with me, you rated stuff like a 5 out of 10. And I'm like, I'm gonna give you an 8.
I do the same thing with books. It's fine.
Yeah, but the difference is that people are seeing your book reviews. No one's fucking seeing my wine review.
Yeah.
No one
except
is
our
hearing
listeners
this.
who drink it and they're like, this is a fucking 4. What were you talking about?
So I'm upping business. No, I don't want to lie to you guys. I'm honest with my words, not so much with my ratings.
Yeah. Just ignore the numbers. Mathing has never been
my strong suit ever.
It's fine.
I'm nothing if not consistent. But before we get into this week's episode, we are going to hear a promo from our friend Kadra over at Perplexity Podcast.
Yay.
And we will be right back. Welcome back. I'm going to start off with our first case today, which I checked and double checked that Sierra did not cover these two. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
On July 18th, 2007, 55-year-old Barbara Bolick set out for a short hike near Bear Creek Overlook in Bitterroot Mountains. This is west of Victor, Montana. So very remote.
Mm-hmm.
She was with her friend, 58-year-old Jim Raymaker, who was visiting from California along with his girlfriend, Donna Biles. Donna had stayed back at the Bolick home with her cousin and Barbara's husband, Carl Bolick, for the day. They told Jim and Barbara.
I'm sorry.
I know that might not have been clear.
No, it's not that. I just had a weird serendipity thing that I wanted to say. We were just talking about Sandra Bullock, and these people's last name is Bullock. Okay, continue.
I'm like, that probably wasn't clear. To be clear, she didn't marry her cousin like in your previous stories.
Right. Because that did happen on a bonus episode, for sure.
It's rough. Don't marry your cousins, people. So yes, the Bullocks. No relation to our beloved Sandra, unfortunately.
That we know of.
Yeah, it's true. Ancestry.com.
Now explain the relationship again.
So Donna and Carl are cousins. Carl is married to Barbara, and Donna's boyfriend is Jim, who is out on this hike with Barbara.
Okay.
They told Jim and Barbara to have a good time and that they would see them soon. There
Is
was
that weird?
no, I don't think so. Like if you were visiting with your family and your family's significant other was like, I want to go on a hike, and you're like, cool, that sounds cool. I'll go with her and let you guys catch up.
Okay.
I don't see it as weird, but I appreciate your suspicions. They told Jim and Barbara to have a good time and that they would see them soon. And there was no way that they would have known that this would be the last time that they would see Barbara. At around 11:30 a.m. during their hike, Jim paused to take in the scenery behind him because they were starting to head down the mountain. So he was taking like one last look at the peak before they left.
Right.
Barbara was only about 7 to 8 meters ahead of him, like walking in front of him at that point. When Jim turned around to comment on the view to Barbara a minute later, after seeing her just ahead of him, she had completely vanished. Jim searched around for her. He couldn't find her, so he called the police and reported her as missing. He then called Carl to let him and Donna know what was going on, and they immediately drove over to the trail, hoping that it would have been some sort of misunderstanding and that Barbara would have been found by the time that they arrived. Jim was immediately looked at as a suspect as the last person to see Barbara, but he was truly just as worried and as baffled as everyone else in this situation. He told investigators that they had hiked to the entire Bear Creek overlook and that they had stopped to eat. They had met two young men on the trail with their dog, chatted with them for a little bit, and then continued on. Jim and Barbara started heading back to the trailhead around 11:30, like I said. And at one point, when Jim was looking back at the view, he said that he did this for maybe 45 seconds to the police before turning back and finding that Barbara was completely gone. Like literally a stone's throw in front of him. Like just
Yeah, I always want to be like what they do in like hypnotherapy or whatever, where you're like, what did you hear?
yeah,
Like,
I know.
what did you
Something
hear her
like
slip?
subconscious.
Did you hear someone grab her? Did you hear an animal? What did you hear in that moment? Like you were listening, but what did you hear?
He said he heard nothing. No.
Hearing and listening is different.
True. That's a true story. Quote, when I turned back to continue heading down the mountain, Barbara was nowhere to be seen. End quote. It was strange since the trail itself was loose shale rock. So it would have made it difficult to move about quietly, like without hearing her.
Right. Yeah.
If she had fallen or been pulled away, it would have been expected that Jim would have heard something. And if it was non-consensually being pulled away, he would have heard a scream or a cry for help. Some sort of movement at all. Even if somebody had covered her mouth, there would have been like scuffling on the rocks. Carl, Barbara's husband, stayed at Bear Creek Overlook until midnight on July 18th, but search teams encouraged him to return home and get some rest, and they would recoup the following day. But I can understand from a man whose wife is missing. It's like, no, I'm not going to go home and fucking rest. I want to make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
He returned with friends and neighbors the following day, and they kept looking. Several ground search and rescue teams scoured the area, accompanied by search dogs and aircraft using infrared and thermal imaging. But no trace of Barbara or her backpack that she was carrying with her was ever found. The strangest thing is that the scent dogs couldn't even pick up any bit of her from the last place that she was, which is even stranger.
Yeah.
He blooped, guys. The search lasted 2 full weeks. The county sheriff were initially interested in talking with the 2 men that they had spoken to on the trail. Law enforcement attempted to locate these men and even offered a $10,000 reward for any information leading to them, just so they could speak with them. Like, that's how baffled they were about this disappearance. The men were described as being in their early 20s, accompanied by a black and white mixed breed dog with floppy ears and white markings. One of the men was described as being dark-skinned with black hair, and the other had a medium complexion with reddish hair. They were both clean-cut, athletically built, and drove a light-colored older Chevrolet S10 SUV with Missoula County, Montana license plates. Missoula. These men never came forward even after an AVV was put out for them, and they were never able to get any leads in terms of their identity. Ravalli County Sheriff's Department was completely baffled by Barbara's disappearance. They described it as an enigma. Barbara was 5 feet tall and weighed about 115 pounds. She wore eyeglasses, and on the day that she disappeared, she was wearing pastel-colored shorts and a tan shirt. There have been many theories about Barbara's disappearance, from an animal attack to Jim having something to do with it, to being abducted by the 2 men that were last seen on the trail with them. But it seems more likely that she vanished into thin air than anything else. To rule Jim out, he heard absolutely nothing. There was also no motive for him to have harmed her. That, and if he did kill her and hide her body, they would have likely found it in the 2-week search that they were combing the area, as he was visiting the area. He was from California. He had never been on this trail before. So it's not like he knew some secret hiding spot that he could hide her. It's all just very, very strange. It's literally like she vanished into thin air.
That's so weird.
And our second story feels very much the same, and it's almost like an action shot that was like cut and he like disappeared from existence. It's very strange.
Okay.
So the second story I have is equally eerie and takes place just over a year later in Happy Valley, Tennessee.
Happy Valley.
On August 23rd, 2008, 51-year-old Michael Hearon Mike, as he preferred to go by, Hearon, called one of his sons, Matt, in the morning to tell him that he was going to head up to the mountain near his home for the weekend and just kind of enjoy the outdoors. Mike was an avid outdoorsman, so there was nothing out of the ordinary for him in this explanation, and he frequently spent his weekends up on the mountain. He had plans to mow the lawn before he left, and even went over to his other son, Andy's house, to borrow their lawnmower. Sorry, I wrote these notes so long ago. It says, as his was on the fritz. And I'm like, when have I ever used that term? Sometimes I surprise myself. His was not working, so he borrowed his son's.
Got it.
Mike's sons didn't hear anything from their dad all weekend, which made sense because he was up on the mountain. But come Monday, the silence raised some serious concerns. Both Matt and Andy worked with their dad building homes, so they normally would have heard from him by early Monday morning. He was essentially their boss.
Right.
They even called their grandma, Mike's mother, who said that she hadn't heard from Mike either. And that's when Matt and Andy decided to go to their dad's and check on him. So this gets a little confusing. Mike owned 2 homes. During the week, he stayed on his property in Maryville, closer to town, and on the weekends, he lived at his generational family home in Happy Valley, surrounded by mountains. It's located at the end of a rural Bell Branch Road, surrounded by trees, mountains, rivers. It really was his happy place. He loved it there. When they saw no signs of Mike at his home in Maryville, they went to the house in Happy Valley to look for him. Matt and Andy searched the property. And the reason they searched the Maryville home first is if something had happened to him, like after he had gotten there to go to work with them, like in that timeline, because it was a Monday morning. Many people were like, why wouldn't you go to his other home first? Well, they assumed he was going to work first. So when that didn't work,
Makes
they
sense.
went to his vacation weekend home. And they noticed that Mike's truck was still at the house. It was also unlocked with the windows down and his wallet and keys literally resting on the dashboard. Super strange. Then they noticed that one of Mike's ATVs was missing and realized that he must have taken it up to the camp when he went on the weekend. So they were extremely worried that some sort of accident or something must have occurred. They called the Blount County Sheriff's Office right away. When police showed up to search the area, along with his sons, they could not find any sign that Mike had been there or the missing SUV.
SUV or ATV?
Or the missing ATV. They searched by grid, much like they did in Barbara's instance, until the next afternoon before finally coming across the ATV. As a new ATV owner, Sierra might be able to weigh in here. It wasn't found in a normal way. The ATV was parked on a hill sideways down the road that Matt had never seen his dad go down before. It wasn't really a known route to any campgrounds that his dad frequented. The ATV also still had the keys in the ignition, and the kill switch was off. There was no signs of an abrupt stop or an accident or any disturbed brush or ground or anything in any direction that would have led to why this would have happened. Why you would have literally just been off your ATV while riding.
Okay, I'm curious to know though, and I don't know if you know this or if probably not, honestly. When you say the kill switch was off, do you mean it was in the off position? Or
it was off as in like he didn't initiate the kill switch to like have to stop right away.
Okay, so
because when you hit it, it stops everything.
Right.
That's my understanding of what I read.
Right. That's why I'm confused, because I'm like, does that mean he stopped it or he didn't stop it?
He did not stop it. And the keys were still in the ignition. If it hadn't run out of gas, the engine would have still been running. I don't know if you can see this very well. This is like the only photo I could find on the internet of it. But it's
only
like
thing
down
I'm seeing
the
right
hill.
now is your background.
Oh. Really? Oh, that's annoying.
I don't think you shared everything.
Shared this one. You see this?
Yes.
So like it's not in the trees like he crashed. It's just down the hill. Like it's super weird.
Well, the reason I asked for the clarification is because
those mean two different things.
Definitely. But also our four-wheeler right now currently has the key in the ignition. We never take it out. There's no point in taking it out. You just leave it there. Like it's not a car.
But
no one's gonna steal it. But you do, yes, you do hit the kill switch, which would mean the kill switch is on, which is hard to comprehend because kill switch off would mean that, anyway.
The kill switch was off, meaning he didn't hit it at any point.
Right,
the keys were in the ignition and turned into the on, like he had been running.
Yeah, no, we don't even turn it off. We just hit the kill switch.
Hit the kill switch. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Because it's not like a car.
Yeah,
really.
It's not like burning.
like you don't start it up really. You flip it in the on and then you press the gas. That's how you turn it on. You like like press the gas.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, that's good to know. I thought it ran
So
out of gas
just
from what I'd
being
heard, but
well, it could have stalled or anything. Like it could have ran out of gas. It could have stalled. But I'm just saying, being on like that wouldn't be weird if he had pushed the kill switch. He didn't
gotcha.
push the kill switch, so it must have stalled or run out of gas or something. Otherwise, it would still be running.
Yeah. But weird. Like he was
Weird, for
still
sure.
running it and was lifted off and gone.
Yeah.
It was a harpy eagle.
Back to that.
Back to the harpy eagle. Go listen to our bonus with Amanda and Robbie from Passages podcast. Because that is my new fear, is harpy eagles. So it's been almost 16 years. And neither Matt or Andy believe that their dad is still alive at this point, but they're just desperately seeking closure. According to his sons, Mike was a joy to be around. He was a really fun dad, always really friendly with anyone that he met. The community spoke really highly of him, the work that he had done with his business, and everyone missed him greatly. Despite efforts from the Blount County Sheriff's Office, the Happy Valley community, web sleuths, and close friends and family members, Mike has never been located or seen since. And since this day, he has legally been declared dead. They do continue to investigate any new leads that may arise, but continue to hit dead ends. It just doesn't make sense. It's like he simply vanished into thin air. Now, scary enough, there are a whole bunch of people who have simply vanished from Eastern Tennessee in the last 20 years. And when I say a whole bunch, I mean like 300 people long. It's like its own Bennington
in the last
triangle.
How many years?
20. 300 people in 20 years? That seems like a lot.
Yeah.
From the same area. From the same area.
I'm not surprised about East Tennessee. I bet it's a really big.
Sierra's drawing a triangle with her fingers, if you were wondering.
It's a diamond because I was saying never eat slimy worms is what I was doing. I was trying to figure out which side was north, south, east, west. I'm not surprised with East Tennessee because, for one, it backs up to West Virginia and Virginia, where the fucking Appalachia is. Yeah, that place is fucking disgustingly scary. Maybe that's what I'll do my episode about.
Hey, so Jules, our friend at True Crime and Headlines and Missing in Hushtown, the one that we're doing the homicide tree around Christmas with, she went camping with her mom for like 6 days along the Appalachian Trail. She's from Tennessee. And that was the first thing that I said to her. I was like, dude, I need proof of life every single day that you're gone. Every day. If I don't hear from you, I'm sending out a helicopter.
Yeah. But she also on top of East Tennessee having the Appalachian Trail and all that is fucking Gatlinburg, and that's a huge tourist destination, and I guarantee there's a bunch of human trafficking because of that.
It's like the Myrtle Beach of Tennessee.
Yeah, except less creepy pastors who probably murdered their wives.
Separate problem. But super weird. It's like its own Bennington triangle that Sierra covered on her missing 411 stories. Forget the episodes, but you'll find them. They're spooky and lots of fun. I will put the links and contact information for both of these police departments in any case that anyone has any information about either disappearance. But like I said, it literally seems like they were deleted. So what do you think?
I feel like there could be reasonable explanations other than being deleted. However, I would like to think that the police can do their job and and filter out those more obvious things. But also, I don't have any faith in the fucking police right now. So
especially
I'm not sure,
after our bonus episode yesterday.
Exactly. Also, I need to say this right now for you, and I am so sorry, future Alecia. Bubba has learned how to fucking get his Alexa to tell him stories. And I can tell right now that it's reading to him and it's so loud. So if it's in the audio, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
It's so loud and I don't know what to do about it because I don't want to just tell him. I don't want to tell him.
Yeah, you don't want to tell your son you're not allowed to listen to books.
Anyway, yeah, I think with the first one, I think in the moment it's harder to remember the things that you heard because you weren't listening. And maybe if he, I don't know if I believe in hypnosis.
But
I don't
that's
know
a
if I
cool
trust
theory. Like if you
hypnotherapy,
were to go under
but
hypnotherapy and heard
yeah,
something that maybe you didn't hear
right.
in
That
that
might
moment
remind you, yeah, that
about
oh,
what
she slipped.
happened.
They are on the top of a fucking mountain. I think it's pretty likely, not likely, probable that she could have slipped.
But if she
I also think
slipped, would they not have found her when they were grid searching the area?
mountains are
Helicopters,
scary.
infrared, scent dogs, everything.
Yeah, but mountains are scary in that they have caverns.
True.
If you fall in, you can't see in there. Like, you don't know what's down there.
True.
People put dead bodies down in those all the time.
That's a true story.
But I do think noise would have been heard 100%. I just don't know if Jim, right, was listening hard
he was
enough
too
to
busy
have heard
enjoying
it.
the view
Yeah,
to be.
and there's nothing, he's not at fault for that. And also it's very possible that she did just fucking vanish. I don't know how. Maybe she was abducted by aliens. Who knows?
She's in a different dimension being like, guys, I'm right here.
Oh god, you gotta watch Debris. You have got to watch that dang show.
I'm going to.
And then for the other one, I think it is possible that he got off of the four-wheeler. Again, possible. I don't know. But even though it was
no
still
one was there with him. So
yeah, even though it was still in the on position, that's something we do all the time. The kids drive the four-wheelers around all the time. And if you stop too soon, like if you let go of the gas, like just let go. Like if you're going and you let go, it'll stall out. That's what it does. So even without hitting the kill switch, I think
something had happened,
maybe he just stopped.
He maybe stalled.
Yeah, I don't know what he stopped for. Maybe he saw a fucking spaceship and was like, "Whoa, what is that?" and stopped and looked up, and then it took him. You know what I mean? Like I have
or
no
a very
fucking
large
idea.
animal. Who knows?
Yeah.
As far as I saw,
know.
there was no prints in the area, and for Mike's case in particular, there's a whole Reddit thread dedicated to his disappearance. I just feel really bad for his sons. Like, what happened to my dad? Like, it was a place that he went often on the weekends.
Yeah.
But weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was my glitch in the Matrix take because there are so many things that could mean. It could mean duplications. It could mean disappearances. It can mean anything. And love you, Ken, but it is a hard topic. And these two cases stood out to me because they were both seasoned outdoors people, Barbara and Mike, and similar circumstances that they went disappeared. So those are my connections there, but wild and weird, super weird. I want to dive deeper into the Eastern Tennessee disappearances because maybe there's like an alien hotspot there that they're just being.
Well, there's an alien hotspot in West Virginia. So
definitely an alien hotspot in West Virginia. And like you said, it backs onto West Virginia. So
yeah.
But let us know your guys' theories and if you have found any glitch in the Matrix moments.
I'm pissed off everybody in America. I know geography. I'm good at geography. It does not touch West Virginia at all. I apologize.
I'll cut all of that.
Because no, you don't have to. It's fine. I can admit my mistakes. West Virginia, let me double check, but I'm pretty sure West Virginia touches only Virginia and Kentucky and Ohio on the western border, not Tennessee. I don't want to piss people off by being wrong.
Tennessee is long and skinny though, so
it is, but I think it only touches North Carolina and Virginia. But I do know that it has the fucking Appalachian Mountains, and that's terrifying enough.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
the
it does
verdict?
not touch West Virginia. It
Just
touches
Virginia.
Virginia and North Carolina. Yeah.
I think our US listeners will forgive you as you are the American of our show.
Right. I just didn't want to sound stupid because I'm actually really good at geography. So
Not me. Not
I
me. I have
corrected
no
myself
fucking
real
clue
quick.
where anything is. I'm bad at math and geography, guys. Geology and science, give me those two topics and I'm good.
Yeah.
But super weird, super
Super
haunting,
weird.
super scary. I hate stories of people just disappearing.
I hate when there's no, like I was saying, like I hate that there's no, you would think the police would have something. Like, well,
But
we don't
they're
know for
both at a
sure,
loss.
but there's this.
Yeah.
Yeah. For them to be like, there's fucking nothing. We don't have shit. That's either
The scariest.
super incompetence or really disturbing because the
Or both.
world is scary. Yeah.
Yeah, literally, this seems like a very serendipitous episode to record after yesterday's bonus episodes on Patreon, where we had two super crazy badass women, but super incompetent police departments and situations surrounding that. So I don't know, it feels
Right.
very on the nose, but if you want more information on that, you can go listen to our July bonus episode over on Patreon. Let us know your thoughts and theories on this week's episode, as per usual. And Sierra, do you have something happy or thankful in your life?
I get to pick up my baby in 3 days. And
I was gonna say, sis
so
is coming home
excited.
soon.
Yes.
That is exciting. She is at her sperm donor's house currently, and for anyone that is not a Patreon member and has not heard all of the tea on that situation.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sure Bubba will be super happy about that.
Yeah.
It's got to be hard being in the
exciting.
midst of summer vacation without your sister when
I
you're
know.
already like bored on and off.
He has watched the same anime 5 times now. He told me that. He's like, yeah, he's like, guess what I'm watching again? And I was like, what? And he's like, this. And I was like, oh, wow, it must be good. And he's like, yeah, this is my 5th time. I was like, well, shoot, it must be really good.
Yeah. It's like the Gilmore Girls of the anime
Yeah.
world.
Exactly. Don't ask what it's called because I don't fucking know. But if you do want to know, ask, and I will ask him.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Any anime lovers out there?
Yeah.
But this was a weird episode, and I can't wait to see where Sierra is going with this special topic episode. She's having a hard time with it, guys. I told her what I was going to do in advance. But
look, Ken, it's not your fault because we find Glitch in the Matrix stories all the time. The issue is no one calls them that in real life, so it's hard to search for them.
All interpretive.
You can't Google Glitch in the Matrix, or else you'll get a bunch of people on fucking TikTok just showing you weird pictures of things and then editing it and showing you again. Yeah. Like they're shitty
look at this person that's like double existed. Are they? Yeah. Are they really?
Actually, I have seen these videos of people who are just standing still randomly.
Oh, and those that's creepy.
The fuck out.
Those are creepy.
I'll have to send you the. Oh my god.
No, I've seen those. Or like things that appear to be stuck, like they're on pause. Yeah. And it's like, huh, what happened here? But you can't really make a case out of that.
Right.
Exactly. So I went down a rabbit hole of glitches on the Matrix, and one of the biggest things was people that are just like taken out of the simulation. So that was the low-hanging fruit that I went for. But also unlocked a new fear for me that I had already unlocked when Sierra did her missing 411 cases. I can't deal with it. It makes no sense to me. What happened to these people? That's my rant.
We'll never know.
Go check out those episodes on Patreon. Go leave a 5-star rating and review if you enjoyed this week's episode. And we will see you next week for... Oh, I never said anything happy for me.
Oh.
I'm so bad at this.
What's your happy?
I'm super happy that I get to do an outdoor free yoga class with my mom this weekend. Yay! And then sit in the pool and suntan with her. It'll be lots and lots of fun.
Make sure you wear sunscreen.
I always do. I wear it every day as part of my skincare routine.
Good.
Because I'm so insecure about everything. Oh yeah, my sunspots have migrated here too. That's fucking fun.
You need to get a microdermabrasion. Find somewhere to give you a microdermabrasion.
I'm going to do it. I'm also going to treat my mom to it for her 50th birthday because she has a lot of sun damage that she's really insecure about. So yeah, it'll be a mother-daughter date. And then and we will see you next week for Sierra's Glitch in the Matrix episode. And in the meantime, keep it twisted. Twisted and Uncorked is a proud member of Weirding Way Media. Hosted and produced by Sierra Zorn and Alecia Watson. If you like the show, don't forget to leave a 5-star rating and review wherever you are listening now. It really is the best way to spread the word. You can check out all things Twisted on our website, twistedanduncorked.com, and we will see you next Tuesday for a brand new episode.